Hello, welcome to the new video. Now that you've been warned about the possible spoilers in this video, we can proceed ahead safely. Um, today we're going to discuss my 4.2 Archon Quest predictions for Genshin Impact and what came true, what did not come true, and how I felt after the quest was over. So, as you might know, I think it's been about 2 weeks since the Archon Quest has been released. I was planning to have this video done before the Archon Quest was released, but I quite didn't make it. But that's okay. We are here. I've done the Archon Quest on the first day to prevent myself from any spoilers. This time I cheated a bit because I watched the trailer. I usually do not. I haven't watched a Genshin trailer before I've done the Archon Quest for about a year or more than that for now. But this time I got really excited, so I really wanted to watch the trailer. And I worried if I was setting myself up for I can't pronounce up for disappointment because I always get overexcited and set higher expectations, and then when they don't meet, I become very sad. It's been a trend for me, a recurring trend, if you may. But that's okay. For this one, too, I got excited and I set expectations. Not everything came true, but some of them came true in a way. So I am quite happy in that regard. So I had three predictions for the 4.2 Archon Quest, and I draw each of them in this drawing. As I mentioned, this drawing was conceptualized before the Archon Quest was done, so I tried to keep it as much as possible, but I'm only posting it now because I got around to doing the voiceover for this today or this week, basically. So, yeah. So, first thing, as you can see on screen, I'm drawing Furina. One of my theories for Furina was that she was a very strong person because she was shown as a human, not as an archon, but I didn't suspect even for a minute that she was not an archon. So I always thought she was an archon, which we know is not true right now. But so, in my theory, because where we left off in 4.1 was that Nave and Furina have an argument, and Furina talks about an emergency plan, which Nave presses her, but Furina doesn't divulge. So I thought that okay, this is something big because I had suspicion throughout the Archon quest. Um, Totally baseless suspicion, but I just had a suspicion that Furina was lot stronger than she lets on to be, because she would always have these, Archon kind of moments, and then she would have like a very human reaction to the situation. So I didn't know what to make of those at that time, but now I know. So now I see that, and I think like Furina's character is so strong, mentally and physically. So I can relate to her quite a bit. So that's quite. I really appreciate her. But anyway, getting back to the prediction. So I thought that Furina's emergency plan was to basically sacrifice herself so that, she was going, because she tried all the methods, but she couldn't figure out how to restore it. I had the impression that Furina woke up one day and then it was just decided that she was going to be Archon without any proper training or knowing what to do. So she tried to figure out a way to save the Fontanian people, but she just couldn't find one. And the only way she found was to, you know, sacrifice herself and then let New Light take care of it, because if the Hydro Archon is not there anymore, then New Light is going to be, New Light's powers as the Hydro Dragon, as the Hydro Sovereign, are going to be restored. So then New Light could definitely solve the issue with the Fontanians. So, disprove the prophecy. So that was my prediction for it. I also had a scene in mind where New Light was crying because he was like furious, but he was crying seeing Furina sacrifice herself. So those were my predictions regarding New Light and Furina that were going to happen in 4.2. In a surprising turn of events, in one way, I feel like they did happen. We see that, but not exactly in the way I intended, but these did happen. So I was very happy. I mean, if someone has done the 4.2 Archon quest, so you would definitely know about it. So I don't know. I don't want to give too many spoilers in the video. But I still warned everyone before, so I think it should be good. The next prediction I had was this is my second prediction, or we can also call it third prediction, because like Furina sacrificing is one, and New Light crying is a second, and the third one is about child, because we have child from the beginning of the quest. So I thought that something big was going to happen, and we would see something really big, because I wanted to explore his backstory. I wanted to see his backstory, what happened when he fell in the abyss, what happened, how he was saved, or like how he came out of the abyss, or who his master was. And thankfully, the Archon quest actually does a lot better job about all that. For me, what my biggest headcanon for child was that in this Archon quest, we would see child being possessed by the Narwhal. I thought Narwhal was kind of like the king of the primordial sea or something. So that's the king that against whom we were like Egeria was fighting, and against whom she committed a sin. So, but then Egeria sacrificed herself for sealing the Narwhal, which is what I thought. We know that's all completely wrong, but that were my first impressions, or like first theories that were going on. I would put a disclaimer here. I'm not a Genshin lore person. I don't read everything in Genshin. I don't watch lore videos in Genshin. So most of what I say could be wrong. So, and that also happens because I tend to form opinions based on whatever I think is right in the quests. So these have not been researched, not been backed by any facts, even based in the Genshin Impact lore. So I just wanted to mention that and put that disclaimer out there. So what I thought was that when in the 4.2 Archon quest, at the end we see child floating in the primordial sea and a huge whale passing above him, and what I thought was, okay, maybe child will be possessed by the primordial sea king, and he will bring the Narwhal together with him. I mean, basically I was thinking we would have a second child boss battle where we would be fighting with like the primordial sea powered child. I thought it was going to be an epic battle and stuff. I mean, it in the Archon quest itself, it was quite epic. I really enjoyed it. Uh, I loved the cutscene where child battles the narwhal, and I really liked the whole irony or like the character growth in a way that from a character who endangered whole of Liyue's population to or like who risked endangering whole of Liyue's population to saving, in some sense, the whole of not whole of like Fontanians. So I really enjoyed that kind of growth in the character, like showing that the Fatui's ideals change over. I mean, they like, basically they have to wear different masks and stuff. So I think like that was quite interesting, and the cutscene itself was very brilliant. You could see like the child's armor breaking up at places, and like those small fireworks, the dynamic angles, and after that, how Nuvulite just after he gets back his power, he goes into the sky and forgives all of Fontanians. And then about how Fossilors and the whole Fossilors and Furina story, it was so heartbreaking. I almost cried. I don't know if I really completely cried, but I think I cried during Furina's story quest more because I could relate to it much more. But I am a sucker for characters like Fossilor and Furina. It was also evident like from Baiju's story quest, because when Baiju first came in the Genshin quest, I didn't like him that much. But then when I did his story quest, I'm a huge fan. I really fell in love with his character because he just looked so cool, saying that he was going to be the first. I mean, he was going to be the last host of Chang Chang. So that was pretty cool. I think his goals and ideals are pretty admirable, and I've been such a fan of him. One day I'm going to draw him. I have a sketch in mind, but I've never really brought it to completed it. I can't pronounce Russian. Okay, let's forget about it. I could never complete that sketch, but one day for sure I'm going to complete that sketch, and it's going to be awesome. But overall, like I guess somewhere among the predictions and talking about the my review of the Archon quest, I got lost. But it was such an amazing experience. Although I did not personally like the part where everyone was turning against Furina, and this was before even knowing what was um, Furina's backstory. So I felt really bad for her, and the way like no one really cared. Everyone left her in the defendant's um, court, but and everyone was like trying to deduce everything on stage, but no one really cared about if Furina was doing well or not. That really broke my heart. So I felt really bad for her at that point of time, and I felt even bad um, after like I found out everything about Furina's background and the backstory. But I also developed this admiration for her. Like I know how hard it is to be stuck and to be like I just don't want to go into it, but I can understand what she went through. I had a similar experience, and I think like the after effects of that experience still last even to this day. So it feels, I really appreciate her because of that. It gave me a bit of a strength. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that because I think I'm gonna cry if I think about it too much. But yeah, it was very heartwarming. And of all the story quests, of all the archon quests, I think like Fontaine's archon quest will also be very close to my heart, um, and I'll remember it for a very long time. And I'm very thankful for the developers for and the writers for bringing this story to me. And I'm actually still looking forward to more. Let's see. I really enjoy playing Genshin. And I guess the reason why I've started this channel was also to talk about it more because, yeah, I do love talking about it. But I just don't have enough people who I know who have like that much of interest in Genshin. But I guess you don't have to know about all this stuff. I just hope that you enjoyed today's video, and let me know what were your predictions for 4.2 Archon Quest, and what did any of them come true, and what was your review of the 4.2 Archon Quest. If you have anything you'd like to share, I would love to hear about it, and let's chat about the 4.2 Archon Quest today. And then I will see you again next week for a new video. You know, we come out on Thursdays every week. I put a temporary halt on my Monday shorts. I'm just trying to figure out a few things, but I guess I'm gonna hide the web comic progress for now because it just became too much for me because I feel like I'm on two boats. But hopefully I'll figure something out. But at least I'm trying to keep up with my Thursday video posts. And so I'll see you next Thursday again. Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye.